Hello and welcome to Raj Sabha TV. You're watching India Fights Back with me, Rajat Kane. Well, as we move towards second dose of COVID vaccination, in this episode of the show, we'll take a look at the response to the first dose of mass immunization program and its success, which started in January 16 this year. The healthcare workers and frontline workers are the first group to receive the much-awaited COVID-19 vaccine. The second dose will be administered to the healthcare workers starting Saturday, that is February the 13th. India has granted emergency use of authorization to two COVID-19 vaccine, Pune-based Serum Institute of India's Covishield and Hyderabad-based Bharat Biotech's Covaxin, which are being used in the government's vaccination drive. Now, India has also become the fastest country in the world to achieve 75 lakh vaccination in 27 days. Well, so certainly it's a huge achievement, but how the drive has been, to discuss further on this issue, we are joined with Dr. Anant Mohan. He is Head of Department Pulmonary Medicine from AIIMS Delhi. Many thanks, Dr. Mohan, for joining us. Dr. K. Madan Gopal, many thanks, sir, to have you on the show once again, Senior Consultant Health from Niti Aayog, and Dr. Ravi Kriti. He is Additional Professor and Head of Department Medicine, AIIMS Patna. Well, many thanks, gentlemen, for being a part of the show. Let me start with you, Dr. Madan Gopal. We are starting the second dose from Saturday, which is February 13th, and we started the first phase on January 16th. So let's take a recap as to how would you see the first dose till now, which has been administered to number of people. 75 lakh is the figure that we have touched in 27 days. Sir.
Rajat, thanks. And this 75 lakh figure which we have reached in 27 days, it is one of the fastest in the world. If you look at US, Israel, every country, we are doing at a very faster pace. As the days are progressing, the pace is also increasing. The first phase, initial, there were some glitches which have been addressed now. As we are addressing the problems which are encountered and we are addressing that issue, the vaccination pace is picking up. So we, out of around 3 crore, we have reached 1/4 of that. That means around 25% of the targeted population we have covered till now, which we want to do it by the end of March. Now, the second dose is coming. First dose is simultaneously going on. People are getting first dose because initial problems were there now. Along with the first dose, now the people who have received dose of 16, they are now eligible to receive the second dose, which would be starting in a couple of days. This will pick up in the coming days. And if you look at the global scenario also, in Israel, they have covered 60% of the population. Now, that means 2 doses because they have started vaccination earlier. And the protection will start only 2 weeks after the second dose is given. That means the people who receive dose on Saturday, that means by end of this month, they would be at least protected against the virus infection. Over to you, please.
Right, sir. Right. Many thanks for your opening remarks, Dr. Madan Gopal. Certainly come back to you. Dr. Ravi Kriti, here, as Dr. Madan Gopal also mentioned, that we have had a very good first dose in terms of the number of people who are vaccinated. So now, as we brace, rather, how is the medical fraternity bracing for the second dose starting Saturday?
I think that the second dose is going to be easier than the first dose because we all had a lot of apprehension about the first dose, about side effects and so on. But now when we have seen that nearly 8 million people have been vaccinated with not many serious side effects, I think there is wider acceptability for the second dose now. And because the first dose has been administered and all the hospitals and centers where they had to be administered are better braced up now. So I think it would be a much smoother process this time around.
Right. So it will be much smoother process. Dr. Mohan, sir, in the first phase, as we saw in the initial at least 2 weeks, there was a hesitancy and people were apprehensive in terms of taking vaccination. And now, like, we have vaccinated 75 lakh people. I know it's a big number, even though these are initial phases. Whenever vaccine is administered in the second phase, I mean, are you as a medical practitioner expecting any sort of apprehension by the recipient this time around?
Maybe not so much as the first time around, again, because already they have been exposed to the vaccine once. And like you said, initially there was definite vaccine hesitancy among quite a few people. Gradually, that seems to be improving and more people are coming now. So the numbers are there to show that 75 lakhs have been vaccinated. In the second phase, hopefully we will not have that kind of a hesitancy now, because already we have an experience of it. Hence, we do hope that it will be much more smoother. Of course, one will have to be equally vigilant to the side effects. So that always that preparedness, that level of preparedness will have to be maintained, and that should be there as it is for any other injection or as it was for the first jab that we took. So reactions, any adverse events, all those things, especially immediate problems, we should be equally vigilant for that. But among the population, I do hope that now acceptance will be better as compared to the first time around.
Right. So acceptance will certainly be much greater. That's what doctors believe, and so does the administrators. Dr. Madan Gopal, sir, in terms of if we break up the data in terms of states and regions, are there any other red flag areas that you found in the first dose till now that these are the places where you really need to brace up your vaccination drive?
I think in the morning, the Honorable Health Minister, he has already expressed concern about the low uptake of the first dose vaccination. So some of the states, he has flagged it. Why it is happening, that's the reasons which we have to understand. Okay, either because both the vaccines were given, that we are having two vaccine candidates which have been administered to the people.
Right.
Some of the states, they are reluctant to take the one other vaccine.
Okay.
So that's that kind of hesitancy. Apart from that, as Dr. Mohan has already pointed out, that there was hesitancy. But they are in the face of overcoming this hesitancy. We can't say that we can't make a red flag on the state that they are not the uptake is not satisfactory. All the states, they are picking up. As the time is passing, as the numbers are increasing, more and more people are coming forward and taking the vaccination. And we won't be having much issues during the second dose of the vaccination, because the systems are now also getting matured. The CoWIN platform which we are using, which we have used for the first time. And we have to remember that that platform was developed in 3 months' time.
Right.
For the vaccination, and we are tracking that. And for making any IT application, testing it and rolling it out, there were some glitches in that. Now, having said that, the glitches and other problems have been addressed. Now we are matured. We are having 1 month experience of doing the vaccination. The things are getting in a very systematic way now.
Right. That's important, Dr. Madan Gopal, that of course, like in the first phase, there were some hesitations, and now, like, as you said, we have, especially the CoWIN app that you mentioned, it has a lot of calibrations were there, and of course, like now it's getting towards much more streamlined. Dr. Ravikriti, so given it's not many vaccines are two-phased vaccine or two-dose vaccine. Please correct me if I'm wrong here. Here, like in the first phase, we saw some apprehensions that were being addressed by both the medical fraternity and, of course, our administrators as well. In the second phase, in the second dose, as we move towards it, and you, in your reply, you mentioned that there possibly will not be any sort of hesitation this time around, given people are experienced enough. Usually in two-dose vaccine, do you again expect any sort of adverse effects? Should we be bold enough to accept, okay, there may be some sort of adverse effects and maybe much lesser than we had in the first dose itself?
So I was saying that it's possible to have side effects even with the second dose, especially allergic reactions.
Right.
And as one mounts an immune response, it is possible to have fever, pain in the muscles, etc. However, given that it has been administered to so many people and we have not had very serious side effects in large numbers, so there is we are more emboldened now and feel more comfortable with the fact that it's very unlikely that we will have very serious side effects this time around. But the possibility remains even with the second dose.
Right. As possibility of side effect, not so serious, that's what Dr. Ravi Krithi is saying. Dr. Mohan, again, would you be imparting some sort of a checklist, or for that matter, rather counseling to the beneficiaries that if there are any side effects, there is no need to hesitate and no need to worry about. These things are fairly common.
Possible adverse events or the possible problems that may happen after the injection, and that includes the list of fever, the muscle pains, maybe occasional headaches, a little bit of giddiness sometimes. So of course, and after the injection, everybody is kept under observation at that same center for a period of time, anywhere between 30 minutes to 1 hour or so, to check for any immediate complications which can be tackled right at that point of time. So such a checklist does exist, and it is given and it is shown to all the people who are coming for the jabs. And there is also a helpline type of a number, or maybe any local number, which is always there, that in case of any problem, then one should contact that particular number so that appropriate advice may be given, or if they need to come back for a checkup or whatever has to be done should be done. So these things are part and parcel of a routine vaccination program.
Right. So part and parcel of routine vaccination program. Of course, we are having one of the largest mass immunization program. Dr. Madan Gopal, I know this is nothing less than a success, as in just 27 days we have immunized 7.5 million or 75 lakh people. It's a huge number. And at the same time, as you said, there are certain states, certain places where it really needs to get going. What you just mentioned, there is a hesitancy regarding a particular vaccine. I mean, what exactly is a hesitation about that particular vaccine that you talk about?
Rajat, one of the concerns of during the initial phase was that whether the vaccine will be effective against the mutants or not. Right, that was the question in the medical fraternity. The second thing, when the labs here, they did the assay, they run the assay, they found that it is effective against one of the variants, and the result of the other vaccine is available. As more and more confidence is going on, this hesitancy and the initial reluctance is being overcome.
Absolutely.
So that's the status. Gradually, as when the frontline workers are coming forward, now you will find that the healthcare worker will also come forward and get the first dose of vaccination. But a cap is there on the timeline. That means by the 15th of March, we should be finishing all the healthcare workers, and by 30th of March, we should be at least giving first dose of vaccination to the frontline workers. If that kind of approach is there, some timelines are given, then I think it will pick up. That's my personal opinion. That means if a timeline is given that by 15, all the health workers should be inoculated, 15th of March, then people will come forward, say that we don't have time. So if it is an open thing that by March they will be all coming. So the initial hesitancy is that. Now, after seeing 75 lakhs people inoculated, everybody will come forward. You just wait for 5-10 days and you will see how quickly we pick up the pace of the vaccination.
Right, absolutely. And good you mentioned about the variants of the virus against whom there was some hesitation in that facet as well. Dr. Mohan, here I'd like to ask you, as we have seen that there have been variants, and fortunately for us in India, variants haven't spread that much as we have seen, especially in few countries. Like there is a UK strain, there is a South African strain, which is now being studied pretty intensively in terms of its spread and severity. So we can say that so far, given the data we have, or for that matter, given the scenario in front of us, by and large, the variance is not a problem here in India, at least for time being. I mean, at least so far.
Yes, absolutely. So the key word here is at least so far, because you see that is true that a couple of travelers did come, and there was some. Then many of them had tested positive also when they came from UK initially, when all this the talk about the UK variants came about, and then the variants have been seen in other countries as well. So fortunately, we are in a much better position, no doubt about that. Not just among the as far as the variant strain is concerned, but even generally overall. It is only one or two states right now who are still reporting quite a few cases. Hence, although we have to go in for, again, we have to be optimistic, but cautiously optimistic, and we have to realize that still everything is not over yet. See, traveling is still going on, including international travel is still going on. Hence, we really have to be pretty vigilant to make sure that any variant or any virus, for that matter, is not transmitted from within one state to the other, within one country to our country. Hence, the same levels of precaution, the same intensity of precautions and vigilance still needs to be kept. But yes, as far as the many other countries are concerned, at this point of time, we are in a slightly better position, and we should try and keep it that way.
Right. Dr. Ravi Krithi, you also agree that we seems to be better placed than other countries, especially like UK, Brazil, South Africa, and maybe like a couple of other countries which are experiencing a sudden spike due to new variant.
Yes, that's right. We have not had many cases of the variant strains so far, but we are probably not testing for the variant strains as widely as we are checking for the COVID virus in general. But nonetheless, the ones that have been detected so far are quite few, and we do seem to be doing quite well. But it is important that we don't become complacent, because as it has been pointed out with international travel, etc., it's possible that these variants may be introduced in larger numbers. And that's why it is all the more important that for the next few months we continue to maintain social distancing, masks, and use of masks, etc. But yes, so far we seem to be doing very well.
So far, it seems to be doing pretty well in terms of variant, which has been a cause of concern, as we discussed. Dr. Madan Gopal, as we are moving towards the close of the show here, and we've been asked, we end up asking all our panelists here, because this is the usual thing that we also hear. Well, now as you go towards the second dose of vaccine, so persons who have received, beneficiaries who will be receiving the second dose, would they be considered as completely safe from any sort of, be it COVID or be it any variant?
After the second dose, the antibody titer which can safely protect that person is at least 2 weeks after the second dose. That means he will be protected against the strain, against the COVID-19 virus. And the assays are going on. One candidate, they told that it protects against the variants also, all the variants. The other assays, the results, it comes, then we would be safely saying that after 14 days of the second dose, the person is at least protected against this particular strain or this COVID virus. Not all the virus, only this COVID virus. Please.
Right. Dr. Mohan, so, I mean, as we complete, as a person gets a second dose, so, I mean, the vaccination is complete on a person, yet you mentioned that we still have to maintain COVID appropriate behavior. For how long do you think so? For a person who have taken both the doses, this behavior is important to be maintained.
See, first of all, we should understand that no vaccine is 100% foolproof. So that is one thing that upfront I think we should understand. That even these trials on these two vaccines, based on which they have got approval, they were conducted in also very strict research settings and all. Even they have not shown that it is 100% foolproof. So efficacy rates are widely variable. Sometimes, for example, if we quote influenza vaccine, which have been used for so many years, sometimes the efficacy rate in some years is just 30%. Sometimes it may be 70%, sometimes 80%. Similarly, for these two vaccines also, efficacy rates are variable. They may be 70%, 80%, but hardly ever will you get 100% efficacious vaccine. Hence, even after a person is fully immunized with 2 doses and he has got sufficient antibodies against it, first of all, we do not know how long those protective levels of antibodies are going to last.
Okay.
We really don't know that because we haven't seen for such a long time. Hence, I think unless all these questions are answered, COVID appropriate behavior will have to be continued, or till the time when globally this pandemic ceases to exist. That is when we are not having any active case in the country, and then the WHO and other regulatory bodies, they declare that the pandemic is over. Then that may be the other scenario. Until then, even if 2 doses have been given, probably one will need to maintain a certain degree of COVID appropriate behavior till the country is free of active cases.
Well, hypothetically speaking, when do you see that scenario happening, sir?
So that really it is very difficult to answer. Like I said, things are on the improving trend for the last couple of weeks and months.
Yes,
no doubt about it.
Absolutely.
There are 1 or 2 states which still have quite a few cases, and one will probably have to focus and see why that is so. And if we are able to control that and not allow any other state to spread out, then I don't see why over the next it will take a couple of months. I'm not saying a couple of days or a couple of weeks, but hopefully sometime later this year we should be in a position to say that.
Right. Dr. Madan Gopal, just a last question as I'm just finishing the show. Like, we're just continuing on what Dr. Anant Mohan said. As we are seeing a sharp decline now the active load happens to be much less. It's in the range of 1.3 lakhs, I guess. Do you still see there are a couple of states which needs to work, or for that matter, there's a work in progress in terms of how to address the cases rise in those couple of states?
Yes, work is going on because we are not looking at the surge of cases per day. We are looking at the active cases which are there in the state. The active cases are potential source of infecting others. So unless the active caseload comes down to a particular level, so we are just guarding ourselves.
Any benchmark that you have set? Any benchmark that you have set up? Any particular level that once the active cases have achieved that? Right.
We have been talking about this benchmarks can be only set when we know the previous year's data or some other data. For some of the states, you would be having some data for February, but the minimum transmission, what is the minimum active cases load in that state or the district, that will at least give insights for the further continuation of the preparedness and the other activities, the epidemic response. So we are just watching that. It is not two states would be showing a high surge of cases, but they are around 7-8 states which we are keeping watch. We are not satisfied. That means that till the active cases comes down to a minimal level, less than 2% or less than that level, that we are not safe because they are potential reservoir for carrying the infection forward. So we have to keep watching the active cases. We have to keep watch on the deaths. That the death surge as we have discussed during the last interaction. So death surge is also happening. That shows the quality of care which is happening. Patients are coming late and the person after test he succumbs to the infection. The death surge are not coming out. We are just now improving the deaths, though the case fatality rate would be coming down. But the death surge as well as the active cases, these are 2 parameters which we have to keep watch in the coming weeks, along with the number of testing.
Right. Many thanks, Dr. Madan Gopal, Dr. Anant Mohan and Dr. Ravi Krithi for joining us and, of course, throwing light upon this extremely important aspect of falling caseload. But from Saturday onward, which is February 13th, we're starting the second dose of COVID vaccination on the beneficiaries who have received or who've been receiving the first dose ever since we started world's largest mass immunization drive. At the same time, as all our 3 experts, Dr. Mohan, Dr. Madan Gopal and Dr. Ravi Krithi just mentioned that we have to maintain COVID-appropriate behavior for some time to come. So, here is a small appeal by RSTV to all our viewers. Please keep wearing a face mask. Please keep washing your hands and also do not forget to maintain the physical distancing. Well, that's it in this edition of India Fights Back. Stay tuned to Raj Sabha TV for more. Thank you and goodbye.